Show to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the post show for what was so far the match of the tournament. I mean, what an incredible battle between two great wrestling trivia minds, Louis Dangor and Matthew Rosa. If you did not watch the match, if you're just joining us on the post show, I'm going to tell you this. Pause this right now. If you're just watching the post show, please go watch the match if you haven't already. If you're just joining us for this, watch us later. You'll catch up. But now that I've had that little 30 seconds of pause, what a match. Louis Dangor pulling out the victory right at the very end there, 7-6. Absolutely stellar back and forth match between the two of them. Jeff Meacham joining me as he always does. Not with video this time. You can hear him fine, but his video is not cooperating.
Well, Greg, it finally happened after 10 years of working with JJ. Him calling me the great and powerful Jeff Meacham. I have become the great and powerful Wizard of Oz. I am the man behind the curtain. There you go. Unfortunately, JJ and I recorded Dad's this morning, and it's a 3 gig file, and it's uploading on the good computer. So I'm on the Chromebook doing the post game. I pray to God it's ready by 8 o'clock Eastern so I can do the Notiki review, because it's been one of those days, kids. Goodness sakes, what a freaking I sat here like wowzers. I forget what question it was. Help me out here, Greg. Where I literally almost shit my pants that either of them got that right.
It was the Rumble question that I asked.
Right.
I asked Matt if he got it wrong, and then Louis somehow pulled out No Way Jose nearly immediately.
Like, how in the hell could he? Okay, help me out here, because I asked you during when we were watching. How old are these two kids respectively?
So Louis is 20 and Matt Rosa is 19.
Okay, so they are combined just a year older than me. Like, it is ridiculous how much these freaking teenagers know. It's absurd, dude. Like, I would never have guessed it. I never know Jose being in the damn Rumble in the first place. Let's not kid ourselves, number one. Number two, I know for a fact, you and I have talked about this, that distinction, if you want to call it that, of being the worst Rumble performer in history as far as time in, was supposed to be transferred from Santino to Titus.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was supposed to roll in and get close under the top rope, and his big ass didn't bump properly. So, it was supposed to be Titus in the first place, but you know.
The thing is, it wasn't who has the shortest appearance ever, because that's obvious. Santino is well known for that. It's who had the least total amount of time in Rumble matches over the entire course of the history of the match.
Right. And because he's only been in one, and he was in there for a grand total of 2 seconds, No Way Jose is the answer. I remember him being in a Rumble match. I never remember him going down the aisle, doing the thing, and making it happen. I don't remember it. I remember Adam Rose doing it because Kofi did one of his many Rumble moments into the Rosebuds. So,
well, here's the summation of No Way Jose's entrance. He came out in 2019, danced his way to the ring, got in the ring, got taken out by Joe, started dancing back up the ramp, and then got the crap kicked out of him by Drew McIntyre, who was coming down. So that was No Way Jose's Rumble appearance in a nutshell. Actually,
and that's it should be.
Not even a nutshell. I mean, that was pretty much it.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely incredible match. I did want to bring up something that I've been intentionally omitting from all of our previous broadcasts.
Okay.
Matthew Rosa, who was the Combat Wrestling Trivia World's Champion.
Uh-huh.
He forfeited the championship and subsequently retired about a week or so ago.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if he's focusing on school or what he's doing, but
good on him, man.
I did not want to say a word until after this match aired.
Well, right.
I don't think it had anything to do with this match because he was in the Clash of the Combatants tournament. Like it's still progressing as we're going along. But I did not want to mention anything that was not CWT that was going to spoil the result of this match. Because if I would have said something on the Greg Cherry show, oh yeah, hey, Rosa retired, it's like, okay, well, Louis is going to win. But you know, all you saw the fantastic match that they had.
Yeah.
So
although I do have to pick a particular bone with both of them on question number 20.
Yeah.
The Clash of Champions has only been a pay-per-view in WWE, children.
You realize that they were born and WCW was barely even a thing. Like Matt Rosa has not lived in a world where
WCW existed. I know. But it's like,
and Louis barely did.
Yeah, okay. And I grant you that. But the stuff I saw both these kids pull out of their ass today, like, the network's been there for 7 years. It's dying as of today. If you're in the United States, oh God, this Peacock thing is gonna freaking drain me, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway,
I mean, we still have the network for another 2 weeks,
right? Like, and I get that, but
for me, it's another 2 weeks because the end of my billing cycle was the first.
Right, and I honestly, I am not happy with the presentation of Peacock as far as where you have to scroll all the way down on the main menu to the sports section and then get into professional wrestling from there. Like, it's a pain in the ass. They better reformat that to have WWE be like a pin to something, because that's gonna drive me crazy doing it every day. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway,
we will. We'll get there when we get there. I haven't logged into it yet. I'm fortunate enough, if you're an Xfinity customer, you actually get Peacock Premium for free. So
which is awesome.
Anybody it's fantastic. If you guys have Xfinity, you can log in to Peacock with your Xfinity information, and you already got Peacock Premium. Like, you're already set. So go do that if you haven't already.
Okay, so but before I get to my bitch about the kids, Big G, there's actually a WWE hub on there, because I was on there this morning. I didn't see a WWE centric hub. If it is, great. I will take away my bitch. I promise I will. All right, now, either way, the network's been a thing for 7 years. You can't tell me that both of them 7 years. So 13 and 14 years old they were at the time. You can't tell me they haven't watched WCW stuff on the network and know that Clash of the Champions is not on the pay-per-view side of things. So.
Well, again, like, they may not realize that those were TBS specials instead of like actual pay-per-views, because they're put in the pay-per-view section, I believe, of the Clash of Champions, even though they weren't pay-per-views.
Incorrect, sir. They are actually in the WCW hub. There's, I'm not on camera, so you can't see me, but there's WCW pay-per-views, Monday Night War, Nitro, Thunder, Saturday Night, World Championship Wrestling, the freaking 80s show with the Crockett set, and then at the bottom, Clash of the Champions.
Okay.
So trust me, because when I was doing the early part of my binge with WCW, having to go all the way down to the freaking bottom of the menu once every quarter to watch the Clash of Champions, like, okay, here we go. And then 97 is like, yay, no more of this crap. Anyway,
well, I guess we'll have to watch some Clash of the Champions before the network is fully merged over.
Yeah, well, the thing
just
is,
in case
yeah.
you and JB3 decide to throw a curveball at me.
Oh, trust me. Now that I have JB3 enlisted, whoever gets to the final with you, you guys are going to hate life.
Speaking of, I might as well go into this. So I mentioned that Rosa is no longer the CWT champion.
Right.
There is an 8-man gauntlet that is happening tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yours truly is included in it.
Yes, you are.
And the winner of that gauntlet becomes the new CWT champion. It is
That's why they're having the gauntlet. Okay, got it.
That's why they're having the gauntlet, because we're determining a new champion. Now, I will say this. With the 10-question format that they have, which is you both answer the same 10 questions, at the same time, essentially with whiteboard.
Yep.
It does not leave much room, if any, for error.
No.
So, I mean, if you guys watched Monday night with the 4-way for me to qualify for the thing to begin with, I had to come from behind. I was behind most of the match. So it is a very tough field as a whole, but how can you watch that? Go over to Combat Wrestling Trivia's YouTube page, go subscribe over there, turn the notifications on so you know when it goes live. It is a 2-hour match. Because of how many questions are being asked.
Yeah. While we're on Report Card Radio, I encourage you, Mr. Report Card Radio, to read the copy of the presentation that they're going to do. It's there's a discount right now for the network on Peacock, like for Peacock service as a rule. When they get back into full service, and if you don't sign up now, you're dicked. Yeah, it's $9.99 for the thing, just like the WWE Network has been for 7 years. So no, it's not cheaper. If you want that $4.99 option, you can get it, but then you're ad heavy. Nope, haven't paid for ads in 7 years. Ain't gonna start now. So, no sir.
I'll probably have to deal with ads, but if it becomes too much of a pain, then like if they start interjecting ads in the middle of pay-per-views I'm watching, that will be annoying. I don't know if they'll go that far.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna see one too many, NBC doom throughout my WWE, yeah, I'm upgrading. Yeah, no, so that ain't happening. The more I know, I'm upgrading. Anyway, so there's that. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. It's just I am 38 years old. I'm set in my ways. I'm almost 40. I like my comfort the way I like it, and I've gotten used to the WWE layout for 7 years. Even though they did the whole rebranding a couple years back, it took me a minute, but I got used to that. Now it's like I have to change again. It's like I'm an old man. Screw this changing bullshit. I don't like change. It's irritating. I'm a grumpy old man. I'm irritated. Anyway, getting back to the focus of what it's supposed to be. God, I say it every week, Greg. I am so glad I'm sitting here and not on the hot seat with you in the shot with the other guy. Nope. Yeah. It's not happening. I am too my blood pressure's too high as it is, just having life daily out here. On the hot seat, yeah, no, I'd probably have a stroke or something.
Well, you have to realize, the pressure is going to be put on me pretty shortly, here in about a little over a month, when I have to put this thing on the line on episode 100.
Yes.
It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, whether it's Chris Cass, whether it's Louis Dangoor, who just advanced, whether it's Travis Famer Scott Gata, which is next week's match, or whether it's Michael Turner or Adam Blampier, which is the match on April 1st.
Yeah.
One of those 6 that's left is going to face me for the championship. And Jeff, we appreciate that.
That's Thank you, Big G. I appreciate that. And you know what? Even though it says quack, 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 because it's the Mighty Ducks movie, I can still mildly cringe because it sounds like the damn Anaheim Ducks. But it's okay. They're behind us in the standings, so screw them. Anyway. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Pittsburgh... I'll tell you what, on Mikey's rankings, Pittsburgh's doing pretty good this year in the NHL for what it is. The season's going pretty well for the Penguins.
So yeah, it's not bad. Again, I'm only like a fair weather Penguins fan, and I know you're a big hockey guy, but hockey is one of those that I don't mind watching, but I'm not super invested like I am with like college football in the NFL.
Right.
And even with baseball anymore, obviously I'm a Yankees fan, but at the same time, I don't want to watch 162 regular season games. I just don't. Maybe a game here or there, but the only way I would want to watch all 162 games of Yankees baseball is if I work for the organization. That's
exactly.
Or I was like a analyst at some sports station or something that I had to cover all the Yankees baseball. Other than that, I like baseball. I don't mind going to games.
Right.
I just don't have the patience to watch all 162 games. I just don't.
Right. And the problem working for the Yankees is if you work for them long enough, you'll be weighted down by the rings you're carrying around when you're trying to do your job. So, that's a bitch.
All 27 of them.
All 27 of them. That's right.
Don't you forget it.
Dude, trust me, I'm an Angels fan. I'm in the same league as you guys. I know. And to be fair, the Penguins, the shine's kind of Sidney's still a great player, but the shine's kind of transferred from him to what's the kid's name in Edmonton? God damn it, what's his name? Dylan. Who's the star player in the Oilers? Connor McDavid. Good grief. I'm going to get shot for that in Canada. The shine's kind of moved from Sidney Crosby because Sidney's been around for a while. Connor's still growing as a player, and he's ridiculously good. So Edmonton's like, oh my God, we're good again. So, they're happy up there. But the Kings are holding on, man. They're creeping up into that out of that bottom third of the standings, which I'm okay with. But this, I mean, you mentioned it, you're going to be on the hot seat yourself in a few weeks, but that also begs, the response from me of JB3 and I have to kind of dance around fashioning questions until we get all the matches done with you. Because then we're going to, okay, damn, use that one. Crap. Oh, let's skip crap. So, we're going to be sitting there doing that for another 6 weeks. So,
Cards on the table. I reused a JB3 question in next week's episode. I didn't mean to. It was just my own fault. Does not affect the result. It doesn't affect the result. So it's fine.
Okay. It is what it is, baby.
I was going to make a joke to Big G. It's like, oh, well, hey, my PayPal if you ever want to send me money. Just for a win.
That's right.
I've designed
more money than me, Al Franken.
Well, you already got the 5, so you're fine.
Exactly.
Obviously,
I will buy me a soda at McDonald's tonight. Anyway.
There you go.
Plus, Larry charges about it. $5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No more. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I am looking as great as this match was today. I am not going to lie. I've said it for a few weeks. Next week's match, I am looking forward to more than any so far. For a very simple reason is either way, we get a hell of a winner, because it's either your best friend in the world, who is an amazing player, and he's proven that. Yeah, he came up against us. It wasn't pretty, but he did very well in the first round. Mm-hmm. Or it's Scott Gata, the guy who very possibly could be the WWE Trivia Champion. Yeah. And like I said,
the guy who's already taken a title from me in wrestling trivia.
So it's like, yeah, my freaking marketing spidey sense is over tingling at this point, like for real.
So you figure next week's match, I'm going to have such mixed emotions,
right? Yeah, I
mean, I want Travis to do well. From personal bias, I want Travis to do well. Can I rig the question for him? I'm sure I could, but I'm not going to, because that would completely denigrate everything we've built with the show.
Exactly. That proved everybody that said we did that for 4 years right.
So he's got to sink or swim regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
But Scott Gata he's tough, man. It's very tough to see what he knows. He's very good with WWE trivia. If you watched any of the episodes of The Bump with him on it, he did very well for himself.
Yes.
Dominant victories, if I may say so.
Oh, yeah.
I want him to win the tournament. I want him to beat Mike Brown, because as I've proven on the show, I know I can beat Scott Gata. So if they do the Bump trivia again next year, or like later this year, or whenever they want to do it, I already know. It's like, hey, I've beaten Scott twice. Once on this show, once on another show. So it's not like, so it's like, I know I can beat Scott. Will it happen, though, is the question. But he still has to be Travis Fame, which would be an amazing deal for him. But then the winner of that has to face Louie, who just beat Matt. This tournament is insane, all of the possibilities.
It is. It's completely bonkers. How many... Yeah, there are so many different ways this thing can go, and you just don't know until you watch, because it's that tight, it's that heavy of a competition where the variables are endless, people. And I mean that when I say that, endless possibilities. Just crazy. And I do need to mention, you mentioned the Bump, the trivia game on the Bump. Last week on the Bump, we also got our buddy Hurricane, Sugar Shane, announcing Molly Holly's induction into the Hall of Fame for this year, the first one in the class 2021. This morning, on the Corey Graves show that stole my name after the bell, we got Eric Bischoff. So let me just, first time I've been live on a thing other than my own, selfish feed. Congratulations to Eric Bischoff, and I'm going to bring it up tomorrow on Dad's, because it's important, and I'm going to be a braggadocious dick about it. But for now, the Dads in Hall of Fame predictions are 2 for 2 this year. It's because 2 weeks ago on Dads, we did our top people who should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't yet. JJ's number 3 was Molly Holly. And one of my honorable mentions, because I couldn't have these 3 guys in the list without the other 2 being there too, because it would be unfair. I had Jim Crockett, Paul Heyman, and Eric Bischoff. So we're gonna call Dad's on Now He's on Wrestling the Nostradamus show on the Jeff Meacham Network here before too long, because we're 2 for 2 already on this Hall of Fame stuff. I'm waiting for it. And on a personal note, as a major NWO fan, I gave the WWE copious crap for not having Bischoff be part of the quartet of the NWO that was supposed to go in last year.
Yeah.
Upon reflection, my bad. Eric deserves his own spot. Eric Bischoff, yes, was the reason the NWO was a thing. Yes, and he was part of the NWO on TV. But he also got hired in after being a Vern Gagne last-minute replacement and a failed WWF announcer audition guy to becoming the C-Squad announcer, to taking that company and taking it to the damn moon. So good on him. And the only reason they started going into the tank is not because of Eric Bischoff, like we've all been led to believe the last 20 years. He walked into a room in August 98, had 12 people he'd never seen before say, hey, here's how you run your company now. If Eric Bischoff, and let's even go further, if Ted Turner had maintained control of Turner Broadcasting, this could be a whole different conversation we have right now about who's ruling the wrestling world. So, and it's because of Eric Bischoff that conversation takes place.
Yes.
So good on Eric. I'm proud to be an Eric Bischoff fan. If that makes me a pariah in other people's eyes, kiss my ass, for real.
Well, there you go. So Bischoff's going into the Hall of Fame. Molly Hall is going into the Hall of Fame. We'll see who else gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. But next week,
yes,
right here on the Greg Cherry brand,
ooh, baby,
we will see Travis Fame, Scott Gata in the quarterfinals. Who is going to face Louis Dangoor? And Louis Dangoor is going to have a tough opponent again.
Right?
Louis has been going through the ringer here, and he is pulling out some amazing wins here.
Yes.
It may be Louis. It could be a
Right?
no DQ versus Wrestle Talk final, and we could have an all Wrestle Talk final.
Yeah.
Like, it could be, if Adam Blampier upsets Michael Turner, and let's be honest, upsets Chris Cass.
Yeah, for real.
We could potentially have a Wrestle Talk final. And I kind of want
exactly.
that.
There you go. That's, yeah. Right?
I want that for the viewers. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I want that so bad.
Well, I think we have a proper visual aid of how Greg's going to look for most of next week's match. I mean, pretty much, something like this. So
yeah,
it's going to be crazy because
if you guys haven't seen the video, which that screenshot is from, go check out the definitive Royal Rumble rankings, which ranks every Royal Rumble, TV included, from 88 to 2020. I need to do my 2021 ones because I did review them. I did go over them. Yeah. I just have not included them in the list as far as where they
For what it's worth, Greg confided in me during that match that he did not know No Way Jose was the answer, except the fact he had it in front of him. So that's how obscure that damn question was.
I really thought it was Mike Kanellis. I really thought it was Kanellis.
I would have sworn up and down and agreed with you. I really thought, because Mike Kanellis didn't do piss all. God, poor Mike and Maria. Good Lord. Anyway.
But anyway, next week we have Travis Payne and Scott Gata. The week after that, we close the quarterfinals with Michael Turner and Adam Blampier. 2 great matches to look forward to. Then we got the semifinals in 3 weeks. We got the finals of this thing in 5. And then episode 100. It's all on the line. Yep. I'm looking forward to that, and not at the same exact time, because
what's crazy
is watching this tournament that my opponent is going to be tough.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's going to be Cass. I don't want it to be Cass. I don't want it to be Cass.
Cass is a dangerous. Yeah. Cass is a dangerous co-star for sure. I will say this: 2 things. Like, we had talked, you and I, when we did the tournament bracket, when you had me set up in the triple threat and you were kind of laying out who was going to be it. It's like, Greg, it really doesn't matter. Like, whoever gets through this, you're going to have a stiff road to hoe, man. It's going to be interesting how it goes once we get to 6 weeks from now. And I will say this: what's really funny is the second semifinal match is during Mania Week. So if Mania Week wasn't crazy enough, we determined the finals the Thursday of WrestleMania week, the second night of TakeOver.
I'm going to tell you, that's going to be the Louis Dangoor versus Gata or Fame, whoever wins that match.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the match that's going to air that week.
So as we head into night 2 of the biggest NXT TakeOver in recent history, we're going to have a huge semifinal match. Man, dude, I'm sorry on camera. Like, I got goosebumps and I'm shaking just thinking about the pressure cooker we're going to be under the next 6 weeks. It's going to be bonkers for everybody involved in this tournament, everybody involved in this show.
Absolutely.
Even me, who's kicking back and enjoying not being in the damn tournament, I'm still like,
yeah, because you got a host match in 6 weeks, so
right? Jesus.
But after all that, we'll see you guys next week on the Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Because if you tune over to the Jeff Meacham Network here in about 4 minutes, a little bit less, you're going to see us review one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21. Go check that out.
Quick before we, where's the graphic? Oh God, it can be kicking for a graphic.
It's in 4 minutes. They're not going to need the graphic.
Must have it. There it is. There you go. Boom. There you go. There it is. Woo woo. Anyway,
with Brian Hebner and his terrible blonde frosted tips.
Jeez, you're
as
right.
we talk about on the show, we go over that. So go check out Jeff Meacham Network here in a couple minutes.
Please.
To watch Angle and Michaels at WrestleMania 21, one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And subscribe to us, follow Jeff at _Jeff Meacham, Twitter, Instagram, myself at Great Cherry Brand, Twitter, Instagram. Go buy our shirts. It's all the links and stuff. If you know, you know. If you don't, ask. That's all for us. We're closing the show out. I know I'm rushing, but I don't care because I have to piss. So
I do too, for real, dude. I gotta take a leak too. All right.
So for Jeff Meacham, I am Greg Cherry. We'll see you here in a couple minutes, but we'll also see you next week on the Wrestling Trivia Challenge. We'll see you later.
Good night, everybody.